Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1125.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, I'm going to address something that has been out there for a long time, and I really haven't talked about it yet. Not on the podcast, I have to my VIP community, but a lot of people are asking, Linda, when Mewn? When can I sell my XRP? Now, a lot of you know I wrote a book, 3 Steps to Quantum Wealth, about the incredible investment opportunity that I believe XRP is. I was so inspired by what I learned that I had to write about it and show how it compared to historical investments like stocks, even some great investments like Amazon stock, for example. I've been an investor for a very long time and actually worked on Wall Street representing money managers. I saw how the very best managers performed over the long term and learned about some of their investment techniques. And one thing I believe is you have to invest for the long term. I'm not a short-term trader. I never will be. I just don't see that is for everyone. Some people are very successful at it, but for the average person who's very busy making a living and doesn't make trading their full-time focus, I think it makes a lot more sense to be long-term. And I'm not alone in that theory. One of the most famous investors and most successful investors, Warren Buffett, said, "Our stay-put behavior reflects our view that the stock market serves as a relocation center at which money is moved from the active to the patient." He also said, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient." And that's exactly what I believe I'm seeing with XRP, with people constantly asking, when Mewn? When can I sell? And I get it. I mean, it's been patience trying to have owned XRP for the last 2 years. I started buying in summer of 2020, and of course we had the lawsuit in December, and we've been, as Jimmy Valley says, under a cloud of tidal ever since, which means that we really can't realize the full potential price of XRP at this time until that cloud on tidal is removed. And that means when the lawsuit ends and we have definitive answers and clarity about what XRP is and how it should be treated. But the good news is that's allowed us to have 2 years to accumulate XRP. That's an amazing amount of time to be able to accumulate under 70 cents and under 25 cents. It also allowed us to qualify for the Flare airdrop, which should be coming January 9th of 2023. This, I believe, will be a valuable addition to XRP in that it will provide the ability for smart contracts and greater functionality. We are still in the early days of cryptocurrency. We're so early we don't even have all the regulations yet, and we certainly don't have legal clarity on XRP. But I envision a future where we will be spending cryptocurrency from our phone or our electronic device all the time. We'll probably be using it very simply and easily, maybe even on Twitter, like Elon Musk has said recently. They're planning to add a cryptocurrency option and make it more like WhatsApp, where people are spending money right in the app. Other countries are much further along in this kind of spending and cryptocurrency future than we are here in the United States. And we know that the whole COVID pandemic moved us about 10 years forward toward a digital economy than we were prior to that. So everything is heading that way. It's so obvious once you start studying about XRP, the bright future that it has, and the possibility to truly transfer quadrillions of dollars worth of value eventually. So thinking about having XRP as an option in the future, it may be more institutionally oriented, but still, the fact that we've been able to accumulate XRP, I believe, is so valuable. Now, for XRP to achieve significantly more value, to me, that means that we have to have more digital adoption. We know that between now and 2025, we're going to be gaining some major points along the way for adoption. However, we also know that from 2025 to 2030 is also an important time point for major adoption. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to wait till 2025 or 2030 to gain value from XRP and to see this investment opportunity pay off. But what I'm saying is we don't want to sell it short, and I'll be talking more about that. But I want to use this analogy to talk about XRP because I think it will make more sense to you. Now, a lot of people use Amazon as an example, but going back to when Amazon went public, Amazon was a company that when they came out and talked about trading online and selling online, even though they started with books and music, you could see where this was a definite change, a split in the universe, if you will, where something different was happening. And this could be a very important company in the future. Even though the internet was just young and early, people still didn't trust it. They thought it was just for fraud and for porn and terrible things. But eventually, the internet matured and encryption came into being, and people could trust putting their credit card numbers online, which they couldn't do for the early years of the internet. But still, people could envision that Amazon could eventually dominate online shopping. That was not hard to see. But at the time, online shopping didn't exist. We're kind of in that same boat with XRP, where we can see the banking system signing up to use the XRP ledger, where we can see on-demand liquidity being so important. But yet, we're mired down in this lawsuit where we don't have clarity. They're not even admitting that XRP is really a currency, even though the US government and FinCEN already determined that years ago. But when Amazon first came out, many people could see the tremendous potential that Amazon had and that someday it could be an extremely valuable company. At that time, we could only imagine that someday it might have a $1 trillion valuation because at that time, no stock had that valuation. And that seemed very pie in the sky. But here we are. Amazon has become worth over $1 trillion. It's dominating the online shopping industry. So let me ask you this. If you were an early shareholder in Amazon, would you have said, when Mewn? When can I sell Amazon? At $10 or $20? Well, in 2000, Amazon was selling at 78 cents. Specifically on December 29th of 2000. It was down 80.9% for the year. Sound familiar? Lots of companies in this particular year have also had a difficult time, even if they are a leading business on the stock market. But $1,000 invested in Amazon's initial public offering would have soared more than 117,000%, which equates to a return of 32% annually over the last 25 years. Meaning, if you had invested $1,000 in Amazon at the IPO, it would be worth more than $1.1 million today. So would it have been smart for you to be asking in 2002 or in 2003, when Amazon was still at a low price, when Mewn? Should I sell now? No. I think we're looking at this backwards. Instead of when Mewn, you should ask yourself, how can you position yourself financially to hold on longer? Because by 2030, a lot of money will be flowing on the XRP ledger. And we know from our tech experts in the XRP community that the more money that flows, the higher the price XRP will rise. We also have a Ripple IPO and major partnership announcements to look forward to. Brad Garlinghouse himself has said there's many announcements they have not yet made public. So we look forward to some major news events in the future. The question is, do you want to still own XRP in 2030? I think you do. Again, I'm not saying it's not going to be valuable until then, but I think you want to keep some money for when it's getting more fully adopted. Otherwise, it's like selling Amazon at a $50 million valuation and not at its $1 trillion valuation. So people say to me, Linda, I'm thinking of selling some XRP. I really want to buy a house. I really want to buy that Lambo. I want to buy something. But think about what you're saying. You could be saying you're thinking of selling your most valuable asset early before its full value is realized. Now, we don't know all of the details, but we know a glimpse. And what we know is hopefully you'll be able to earn income from your XRP and use that as passive income. You may even be able to act like a bank and loan it out to other people and earn an income. We don't know all of our options yet, and Flare is going to provide an important addition of smart contracts, which is going to make our opportunities even more vast. We also know that the XRP ledger could be used for carbon credits, which is one of the biggest markets you can think of. That will move massive value in the future. So there's many plans we don't even know about yet, and it's already mind-blowing. We also know that 70% of lottery winners have typically lost all of their money in 5 years. And having XRP gain tremendous value in a few years could be kind of like being a lottery winner. Now, why did those lottery winners lose all their money? Because they spent their principal. There's principal and there's interest that the principal can earn. If you spend the principal, it's gone. It's never coming back. If you spend the interest, you can always make more interest on your principal. Years ago, when I worked on Wall Street representing money managers, there was a wealthy client that I knew. He had $100 million in tax-free bonds. He lived off the interest and never spent the principal. That's how wealthy people stay wealthy. But by thinking about spending your XRP, you're already thinking about spending your principal, which means you have one foot on the slippery slope of being like a lottery winner and not having any of your money left in 5 years. If you're thinking of spending XRP, you should rethink it. What you want to do is think, how can you keep it longer so you can see more benefit? How can you protect your XRP investment? How can you turn it into passive income? If XRP is currency, which I believe it is, it may be the most valuable currency that there is. Much better than Fed fiat money. But you say, Linda, I want to live free. I want to enjoy my wealth. Okay, but here's the thing. There's going to be massive volatility in price, I believe. Use that to your advantage. If you sell some, have some automated orders to buy it back at a lower price. I have a chapter on holding and trading strategies in my book, in which I mention David Schwartz, who was kind enough to reveal to us an easy mistake that he made so that we wouldn't make the same mistake. The chief technology officer of Ripple, David Schwartz, told us that he sold his Ethereum for $42,000, thinking it was a nice profit. He meant to buy it back, but forgot. And by not doing so, and by selling the Ethereum, it would have been worth $90 million instead of $42,000. And that's not an isolated story. We've all seen Bitcoin go to about $69,000. You think XRP can't do that? If the amount of money running across the XRP ledger and that XRP holds will eventually determine the price, Bitcoin had a lead of several years and more funds invested in it now. But for how long? You know, cycles typically run about every 4 years for cryptocurrency. 3 years up, 1 year down. And we certainly know that it has much more utility than Bitcoin. Once XRP has legal clarity, I believe there will be no stopping it. And other countries already know it's a currency. So it's bound to get that clarity soon. There's a risk that any time you sell, you could miss out on overnight gains that the Riddlers have warned us about. They appear to be insiders who know the plan. But even if they don't, you're likely better off holding as long as you can. If you sold all of your Bitcoin at $10, how would you feel? Yet how few people were able to hold it while it climbed higher. Investing in XRP may be the greatest investment opportunity of your lifetime. It's like another Amazon or another Bitcoin. Do you want to be in a rush to sell? Maybe can you find a way to sustain your life so you can keep this valuable asset? Years ago, Microsoft was a young company in Seattle, where I'm from originally. My late husband happened to buy Microsoft at the initial public offering and held it. Many people sold it and cashed in their options at Microsoft. They wanted to buy a house. They couldn't wait. They bought the $500,000 house. Later, they realized if they had held on to the Microsoft stock, it would have been worth $10 million, life-changing wealth for them forever. But instead, they got impatient and sold to buy a $500,000 house because they needed to have it today. This is the same kind of decision-making that you're going through right now. Do you want to sell and have the house, or do you want to have the $10 million? In my book, 3 Steps to Quantum Wealth, I have a chapter on why people lose their wealth, and I make 5 recommendations for you. Number 1, work on creating a new wealthy mindset. You have subconscious beliefs that you're not even aware of about money that are really important because they affect your behavior with money. Number 2, don't measure yourself by money. Don't compare yourself against how much money you have versus how much money someone else has. Number 3, assemble a team. These are your advisors who are going to be advising you on the wealth that you've created so that you can maintain it. Number 4, create a list of wants. Rather than getting caught up on spending on a whim, really prioritize what you want to do with your money and how you're going to help yourself, your family, and others. And number 5, have a plan to invest and replenish your funds. Because if you're spending your principal, you won't have your money very long. You need to have a plan to replenish your funds. Nothing is guaranteed, and I get it. You want to enjoy your money. What I'm saying is, instead of predetermining a price to sell at, why not allow yourself the flexibility to say, I could sell a small amount and try to repurchase some if the price drops again. I'll sell the least amount possible so I can own it longer. I'll look for other strategies where I'm able to earn passive income and I don't have to sell. The more patient you can be, the richer you may be. So give this more thought and stop asking how soon you can sell the most valuable asset you may ever own. If you're interested in checking out 3 Steps to Quantum Wealth, the Wealth Heiress's Guide to Financial Freedom by Investing in Cryptocurrencies, I'll put a link in the show notes for you. It's available on Amazon and through bookstores. It became a #1 international bestseller in the US, Canada, and Australia, and has 91% 5-star reviews. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.